We have figured out the full story of Black Ops 7 Zombies and its DLC maps, with the leaked DLC maps from earlier this year recently being confirmed from Call of Duty's latest blog post. So in this video, we are diving back into Black Ops 7 Zombies to revisit and expand upon our previous theory about its story. In the previous video talking about the DLC maps, we used the ending of Reckoning from Black Ops 6 combined with some leaks to predict the direction of the game. Now we have the full intro cutscene for the launch map, Ashes of the Damned, and a detailed blog with bios for all 8 characters. We can suss out the full story. With this new information alongside our original research, we can craft a more detailed and confident theory about who these characters are, where they come from, and what the DLC season will look like and entail, and who the villainous, Warden or Great Voice character is. All of that and more will be unveiled in this video, so stay tuned. But to understand where this is heading, we need to break down key details from the intro cutscene. Let's start there. The cutscene picks up exactly where Reckoning's ending left off, showing the original characters Richtofen, Dempsey, Takeo and Nikolai alongside the Terminus crew Weaver, Gray, Carver and Maya in the lobby of the Dark Ether version of Janus Towers. Requiem appears, panting, clearly disorientated in this alien dimension. They are greeted by Richtofen and his crew with a casual welcome to the party. Then, the Great Voice or Warden steps into the scene. He declares it's a party and y'all are the guests of honor, or technically the main course. This old cowboy sheriff with a wrinkly skin and a southern drawl doesn't reveal his identity when asked. Instead he says, "I know y'all are confused, so was I, but as they say, this too shall pass." He then commands a zombie skull in a cage he carries to feed, sucking out the souls of both the original characters and Requiem, not just the original 4 like many were expecting. This is a game changer. He taunts, "See y'all real soon. In the meantime, why don't y'all get to know the natives?" before teleporting away, unleashing nearby zombies on the group. They fight together, narrowly escaping the Janus Towers lobby by detonating a zombie strapped with grenades, suggesting the map's spawn point will be outside since the lobby is destroyed. A few standout moments in the combat-heavy cutscene include Richtofen saving Carver, which is surprising given Richtofen's Nazi background and Carver being a black American veteran, Gray and Dempsey momentarily helping one another, Maya wielding Takeo's katana briefly, and Weaver and Nikolai, both of Russian descent, saving each other by shooting over one another's soldiers. The Reckoning ending we saw was clearly the opening moments of this cutscene, setting the stage for the Warden as the central figure in the plot. Let's break him down first. In our previous video, we theorized about this mysterious character based on Modern Warfare Zombies' ending, where Ava Jansen is pulled into a mirror in Liberty Falls and enters the Dark Ether. A rotten zombie hand in a sleeve resembling Samantha Max's jumper grabs her, but we also see a silhouette of a tall figure in a brimmed hat just before then. Initially, we speculated this could be the Shadow Man / Shadow Smiths. However, this cutscene shifts our perspective. The figure's boots with jingling spurs, straight out of a cowboy's outfit, and the hat shape with the dual-wielding pistols, the logo iconography at the top, is clearly cowboy iconography, nothing to do with the Shadow Man, and point to a completely different identity. The smoke drifting from the figure aligns with the smoking skulls in the Warden's cage. Plus, this silhouetted character appears on the mansion roof in Liberty Falls, close to the Black Ops 7 Zombies setting. We can lean on leaks to solidify this. An Insider Gaming article from some time ago, which accurately predicted the return of the original characters and the transit-inspired map, mentioned a new enemy aiming to absorb the Dark Ether essence of the original 4 to restore the old multiverse. This matches the Warden's actions in the cutscene. Additionally, Tom Henderson, the article's author, hinted on Twitter about a character called The Warden in response to a post about Brutus from Mob of the Dead returning as a Black Ops 6 Vault Edition skin. The Black Ops 7 Direct also implies our characters are in prison in the Dark Ether, reinforcing that this cowboy is the Warden. Now, with the full cutscene, we see the Grey Boy/Warden clearly, an old cowboy sheriff with wrinkly skin, a southern drawl, and glowing white eyes, reminiscent of Dark Ether corruption seen in characters like Samantha Maxis, although her eyes were purple. Here's the line, "I know y'all are confused, so was I," suggests he is not a native to the Dark Ether. He may be a corrupted human, pulled into this dimension like the others, who rose to power as a Warden-like figure, a sheriff. This would allow him to align with many of the clues we had for Panos' mysterious ally, including the university clue, meaning he did have an education because he used to be a human in the regular world. This ends up painting him as someone who once faced the same disorientation but now wields control, possibly corrupted by the Dark Ether's influence or just learning to control it. Similar to Zykov on a much grander scale. We will have another video on just who this character is, breaking down some potential identities for him coming out soon, so stay tuned for that video so you don't miss out. The Warden's goal is to keep the characters imprisoned in the Dark Ether, using their stolen souls to restore the multiverse. Originally, we theorized he'd only taken the souls of the original 4, leaving them sickly and veiny, as seen in gameplay images. In our original video, we thought Reckoning's ending showed them normal because their souls hadn't yet been stolen. The cutscene confirms the soul theft happens right at the start, but also reveals Requiem's essence or souls were taken too, making 8 souls total. This changes our predicted DLC structure. An Insider Gaming article outlined 6 round-based maps for Black Ops 7, 1 at launch and 5 DLCs. The settings include a post-World War II New York where Nazis dropped a nuclear bomb and they had won the war, a Japanese temple at the foot of an erupting volcano, a Shoin temple to be specific, Vietnam, Afghanistan, and a Dark Ether space station, plus the new Transit 2.0 experience at launch. We previously theorized Black Ops 7 mirrors Black Ops 3, visiting reflections of the original characters' home universes to retrieve their essences before the Warden uses them. The new bios and cutscene interactions strengthen this, and the paired dynamics in the cutscene might suggest how the souls are distributed. In our last video, we proposed the launch map, a Transit 2.0 we now know is called Ashes of the Damned, would feature the crews teaming up and learning about each other and what had just happened to them. The next 4 DLC maps would each focus on retrieving one original character's soul from their home universe, similar to Black Ops 3, e.g. Nazi New York for Richtofen, with the 5th being a finale to escape the Dark Ether. With 8 souls, the structure shifts. Perhaps some maps involve saving 2 souls, others 1, or maybe the first 4 maps save the original character's souls, and the finale rescues all of Requiem's. Treyarch's marketing emphasizes mixing and matching the 2 crews to uncover their full stories, since you can only play with a max of 4 players, so you can play as all 4 of the originals or all 4 of the Terminus crew, however they say you're going to get the best dialogue when you mix and match, suggesting each Requiem member pairs with an original character for a shared arc, with their souls stored together in specific maps. Let's break down each pairing, using the bios and cutscene combined with the leaked maps and predict each DLC's focus. Now this is going to be in no particular order about when they're actually going to release, I don't know. But the first one is Nazi New York, which I think may be Carver and Richtofen's map. Edward Richtofen's bio confirms he's a brilliant but unhinged scientist from 1945, in a world where the Axis powers won World War II, aligning perfectly with the leaked Nuked New York map. He's steeped in Group 935 and Nazi iconography, shaped by ambition and corruption, masking sadism with charm. Major Mackenzie Carver, a proud black American veteran from a military family, lost his rank but maintained discipline to restore his reputation. His fury at the Dark Ether has forged him into a projector seeking a future free of oppression. In the cutscene, Richtofen saves Carver, surprising given Richtofen's Nazi ties and Carver's likely and obvious resentment upon seeing him. Their arc could center on overcoming prejudice, Carver helping Richtofen move past his bigoted beliefs, while Richtofen's act of saving Carver hints at potential growth. Richtofen is usually the leader of the group, and I assume probably the same again considering he's at the forefront of when the characters first step forward and he's the only one who talks saying welcome to the party. If he is going to be a leader, I don't know how he could possibly be so if he's going to be a Nazi the whole game. and he's not going to have any sort of redemption or change. However, the way Treyarch handle that is a very touchy subject. I don't know how they're even going to do it in a sensitive way or a realistic way, or what on earth Carver and Richtofen's dialogue is even going to be like. They have the potential to piss off a lot of people, literally depending on many different directions they potentially go. So we're going to just have to see how they handle that, I guess. But their souls are likely stored together in the Nazi New York map, where we'd explore Richtofen's backstory in a world where Group 935 helped the Nazis win. Treyarch may aim to try and foster some kind of understanding between one another, but I don't know how you even grow to understand a Nazi, but I do not even know how, like I say, they're going to handle this, but I think the goal will be that they'll eventually come together and retrieve their souls. And the main theme of the map will be themes of redemption and breaking cycles of hatred, and that compassion dominates above all. But like I said, I have no idea how they're going to handle it. I don't even know how to talk about it in videos, and if this does become a central plot, which it definitely has the potential to be, I do not even know how I'll talk about it in the future. Moving forward, we have the Japanese temple, which I think will be Maya and Takeo's map. Takeo Masaki's bio places him as a disgraced ronin in 1591 feudal Japan, seeking redemption through battle, his blade both a burden and a judgment. This matches the leaked Japanese temple map at an erupting volcano. Maya Aguinaldo, trained in smuggling since childhood, is street smart and deadly, driven by grief over her brother Nathan's abduction by the French syndicate. Her pursuit led her to Requiem, but she's out of her depth in the dark ether science, relying on grit and instincts. The cutscene shows Maya using Takeo's katana, linking their combat-driven identities. Both carry the weight of loss. Takeo's family and girlfriend in his original timeline, and Maya's brother in this one. Of course, we do not know Takeo's history in this new timeline, but maybe he faced a similar fate. Their souls are likely stored in the Japanese temple map, where they'd confront their grief and find redemption together. The volcanic setting could symbolize their inner turmoil, with their arc focusing on moving past vengeance and loss, possibly reflecting on whether Maya achieved or abandoned her revenge based on Black Ops 6's ending. Now we have the Afghanistan map, probably Weaver and Nikolai's map. Nikolai Belinsky's bio confirms our earlier theory. He's a Soviet tank commander from 1984 Afghanistan, scarred by war, betrayal, and disillusionment with the Soviet Union, masking bitterness with the dark humor. The leaked Afghanistan map fits perfectly. Grigory Weaver, a CIA operative whose mother defected from the Soviet Union, is haunted by tactical errors with Richtofen's family, but driven to fight for his allies. The fall of Requiem and Project Janus transformed him into a hardened leader. Both would be moved by the Soviets' inevitable loss in this war. In the cutscene, Weaver and Nikolai, both Russian by birth, save each other, highlighting their shared heritage. Their souls are likely stored in the Afghanistan map, revisiting the Soviet-Afghan war. Weaver, having defected to America, could help Nikolai process his trauma and disillusionment with their homeland. Their arc would explore themes of betrayal, national identity, and loyalty, retrieving their souls in a war-torn setting that reflects Nikolai's past. Finally, for the character-centric map, we have Gray and Dempsey probably being the Vietnam map. Tank Dempsey's bio confirms our prior theory. He is a battle-hardened US Marine from 1968 Vietnam, full of grit and sarcasm, now an unpredictable wildcard due to distrust of his new surroundings. The Vietnam map aligns perfectly with this origin. Dr. Elizabeth Gray, a scientist renowned for Ethereum research, was imprisoned by Requiem's former director, leading her to question whether science can fix the damage it's caused. She's less experienced with battlefield horrors compared to Dempsey, and Vietnam is a place rife with the horrors of war. While their interaction in the cutscene is the briefest of all of these team-ups, their souls are likely paired in the Vietnam map. Dempsey's rugged, war-torn aesthetic fits the jungle setting, and Gray's bio suggests she's grappling with the limits of science and her combat abilities in the face of chaos. Their arc could involve Dempsey helping Gray cope with the war's brutality and helping to toughen her up, while Gray offers an intellectual perspective to temper his impulsiveness and soften his edges. Themes of survival versus reason and processing trauma would drive this map as they retrieve their souls. For some extra details, we have the Pyramid and Ascension. The launch map, Ashes of the Damned, is a Transit 2.0-esque map, and the key art for the map reveals key details we don't see in the intro cutscene itself. A creature resembling the Bios from the COD Zombies comics attacks the Wonder vehicle, likely a new type of denizen, iconic to Transit. We also see an infected bear, possibly the creature from recent audio teasers that we hear roaring, also appears. The Warden's sunglasses reflect 2 points of interest: the Ascension rocket pad, confirmed by the Russian scientist audio we discussed, and a floating pyramid with a glowing gateway at the top, likely the one Panos described in Reckoning's intel. The pyramid, with 4 gateways, 1 per side, could be a Keeper teleporter, as we've covered in prior videos linked on screen and in the description. Each gateway might lead to one of the 4 DLC maps, tying the launch map's exploration to the soul retrieval journey and explaining how these new universes are being formed. And Ascension's rocket might just be the key to how our characters will then arrive at the ending, allowing Richtofen to finally use the rocket as Ascension, similar to his original plan from the Ether universe all those years ago. So how could Black Ops 7 Zombies end, with the DLC 5 potentially being the space station map? With all 8 souls retrieved across the first 4 DLCs, the 5th and final map takes us to the Dark Ether space station. This is likely a grand finale to return Requiem to Earth, having thwarted the Warden/Great Voice's plan to restore the multiverse. The 2 Richtofens, our new one and Janice Eddie Richtofen from outside the Dark Ether, could orchestrate this. The new Richtofen, a Group 935 genius, might just use the space station's futuristic technology, possibly built by Eddie during Project Janice and intentionally sent into the Dark Ether, or form a futuristic universe cast into the Dark Ether to facilitate the escape. This would bring Requiem back to Earth in 1992, aligning with Grey using the Mum Gene's genetic samples to create Ava Janssen. The Dark Ether exposure would slowly sicken them, leading to their decision to extract Ethereum from themselves to prevent an outbreak, as seen in the Modern Warfare Zombies Grey tapes, as the same device that they die with is in the background. This suggests the entity was actually protecting Ava from the Warden all along, who would be following her after seeing Requiem narrowly escaping his clutches. This explains why the crew have to then die, because of the Dark Ether exposure and the essence harvesting. But what about Ava? Ava remains a wild card. In Modern Warfare Zombies, she's pulled into the Dark Ether nearby to where Ashes of the Damned is, on the roof of the mansion. Is she teleported to Black Ops 7 Zombies timeline via time distortions at the Liberty Falls mansion? Or does the Warden's act of pulling her in signal a new plan after the entity is defeated, meaning he would survive post Black Ops 7? With 300 years of Dark Ether time between Modern Warfare Zombies and Black Ops 7, much could have transpired. If Ava's role isn't resolved in Black Ops 7, it'll likely be central to the next Zombies experience, Black Ops 8 or whatever ends up being. That's our refined theory for Black Ops 7 Zombies' DLC season, travelling through Keeper gateways to alternative universes, retrieving paired souls of the original characters and Requiem, and culminating in a space station escape to stop the Warden. The character arcs, Carver and Richtofen overcoming prejudice, Maya and Takeo finding redemption, Weaver and Nikolai facing betrayal, and Grey and Dempsey balancing science and survival tie into the leaked maps beautifully. But what do you think? Do you think we're on the right track with theorising about where the DLC season is going to head? Do you agree with this structure, or do you think the leaks point to something else? Drop your theories in the comments below, I love reading them. Anyways, thank you for watching the video, make sure to subscribe if you're not here for latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.